What's going on, guys? How are you guys doing today? Me, myself, I'm doing pretty good. It's Florida, man. It's beautiful out here, man. You know what I mean? I love Cali. I love back home, but the beaches here are hard to beat. I mean, we have that water, Southwest Florida, shall I say, because the east side, that Atlantic, that's dirty water. But the Southwest, this Gulf, boy, it's clear. You can see your toes through that water. So side note, but I'm doing good. I hope you guys are doing just as well. But I wanted to come and talk to you guys a little bit about faith and why faith is important and why you need it. Now, myself, I read a lot. I've read over 70 books. And a large majority of them are self-development, personal development, biographies, and philosophy. So those are the three areas that I like to read in. And one thing I have noticed as I have gotten closer with God and have built a strong relationship with Him, I mean strong. Like I spend probably 2 hours a day doing something that's centered around God, whether it's listening to somebody preach. I listen to people preach every day. Besides going to church on Sunday, every day I go on YouTube and I listen to pastors preach on, different topics, different subjects. So a lot of time is spent watching videos like that. And I also read the Bible a lot, which is something I never really did like growing up. I never read the Bible, especially in younger years, because it was just hard to understand, getting the King James version. I didn't even really know the different alternatives, all the different versions. I only thought of King James, and King James is like Old English. So it's hard to understand some of the words and the way they wrote. It could be hard to understand what is being said. So it kind of deterred me because of its difficulty to understand. So the Bible kind of pushed me towards business books, towards self-development, towards philosophical books, so I got really my learning and my wisdom from those books. So when I actually started to get into reading the Bible, I started to see the world in a totally different view than I had ever seen it, because a lot of stuff overlaps. So a lot of these self-development books like Think and Grow Rich or The Secret, where it's the law of attraction. If you think about it long enough, you can achieve it. That type of thinking, that comes from the Bible. And I didn't know that. You're talking about ancient wisdom, godly wisdom, to show you how to live a better life, how to live a more fulfilled life, how to live a more peaceful life. And we tend to think about it differently today in the secular world. We tend to look at those things not of being from God, but from being from ourselves, because today we're centered around I. So it's if I think it, I can achieve it. If I say it over and over and over, I can manifest it. Really, you're trying to tap into a power that belongs specifically to God. John 17:17. If ye shall ask me of anything, I'll do it. Ecclesiastes 7:13. Consider the work of God. Who can make straight what he has made crooked? And the list goes on and it goes on. I mean, when you think of James 4, ye have not because ye ask not. So a lot of these ideas that we have came up with in society, separating ourselves from our creator, a higher power, we have now taken that knowledge and made it a source that's coming from self, when it doesn't come from self. You're pulling from a power that comes from our creator. That is a source that doesn't belong to us. It's a source that we have to ask him for. If we're tapping into that source and it's not coming from him, That is not an energy. That is not a power that I want. That is just not a sphere that I want to dabble in, trying to deal with spiritual abilities, but it not coming from the creator, the author, the quarterback. He's the one who's creating everything. And to tap into his powers is almost disrespectful in a way. To try to tap into it without acknowledging him. It's like somebody stealing your creative work. Somebody steals your art and they sign it with their signature and say, hey, look what I painted. You're going to be highly upset, which is why we have patents on things, which is why we have all these type of insurances to cover ourselves in case somebody tries to steal our work. So imagine how your creator would feel if you're trying to tap into a power that belongs to him and trying to use it for your own personal wants, earthly wants. Oh, I need a ton of money. I need to keep thinking this. I need to manifest this money. I need to manifest this new car. It's all personal wants, all material items, things that you can't take with you once you die. So for me, I tap into that power asking him, Lord, can you grant me the ability to fulfill my purpose? Can you grant me the ability to walk into my anointing, which you have created me to do? See, when God gives you a gift, it's usually in a form to serve other people. Over and over in the Bible, he talks about serving others. And the reason why that's so important, because Jesus gave his life for us. He gave the ultimate sacrifice. So because of that, you know that's on a high list for God, for us to be like him, for us to give, for us to take care of one another. So if you have a special gift, you know it's a gift from God when it's something you're using to help the next person. So my ability is speaking. My ability is knowledge, information, wisdom. I tend to hold on to wisdom. I tend to hold on to information. I can read things and regurgitate it out of a book. I can remember it, and I can use it in like real application. Now, it's a difference. You know, intelligence isn't like just the knowledge. Is being able to use that knowledge in a way that it creates something for you, where you benefit off of it. So I can take knowledge and I can apply it. So when I make videos, I'm giving you information that you can apply, or a way of applying something. I don't just throw stuff out there and, you know, just fun facts of the day. I try to tell you how to become better. I try to tell you how to reach goals in the ways that you can reach goals. I give actionable steps. So that's my ability. And that's my ability to help others, to help enrich the lives of other people. So I tap into his source by asking him to grant me with the ability to do those things on a high level, to not be mediocre with my abilities, with my gifts. I ask him for it though, because it's his power that he grants us as long as we ask for it. Now, it isn't just asking though. You also have to be living righteously. It's probably the one word that's said the most in the Bible, other than God, is righteous. So you have to be a righteous individual, which means living a godly life, trying to walk in the path of Christ, trying to be Christ-like, trying to obey his commandments, asking for forgiveness, keeping him centered in your life. You know, so when you become a righteous individual, then he will listen to your questions. He will listen to your asks. So that's what I try to do. That's how I tap into that power. Being a decent human being that puts him at the center of my life. So when I ask him of favors, he's willing to do it for me because I've shown the love to him first. You know, it goes back to that verse. If you draw near to God, he'll always draw near to you. So if you come to him He'll always come to you. He'll always meet you halfway. So I just want us to understand why this idea of faith is so important, because he's our power. We need to stay connected to the power, just like a plug needs to stay connected to the outlet in order to generate electricity, in order to generate power. The same goes for us. Our souls need to be connected to the power in order to be able to use the spiritual gifts that God has created. And because I live righteously, I have a sense of peace. Now, I used to always have, not necessarily anxiety, but I used to worry, like, I need to do this, that by this age. And as I got closer to the age, I wasn't a millionaire by 30. I didn't have $1 million by 30. And this is something that I wanted when I was 21. So when you really get connected to God, you don't have those type of worries. You don't have those type of anxieties. You don't have those type of fears, because he's always going to look out for you. You're always in favor. He's going to take care of you. So I have no worries. I have no doubts, because I know at the end of the day, he's going to take care of me. He's going to make a place for me. He's going to lead me in the right direction. I always ask him to be the driving force of my life, to be the decision maker in my life, because anytime I left it to myself to make decisions, I always mess things up. Anytime I ask him, how I should proceed, he always makes the best decision for me. And that's all he wants, is for you to come to him, your creator. And it shouldn't be too hard to think that you're a creation of something. Somebody created you. You think of all the works of man. We've created tables. We have created TVs. We have done all these great works, though blessed by God. We have created all these great works, and we are the creators. We're called the creators of those things. Why is it so hard to believe that you have a creator? I feel very sorry for you if you feel that this physical realm, this three-dimensional world, is all that there is, that this is the beginning and the end for you, that once you die, you go into blackness. I really feel bad for you, that you don't expect, or you don't look forward towards anything after death, because I do. And the thing about it is, we have words that describe non-physical entities or experiences. And one of them is very common. It's called chemistry. Now, chemistry isn't physical. Yes, it can have a physical element to it, maybe through sexual relations. But typically when you talk of chemistry, it isn't of sexual content. It's of you and a person vibrating on the same level. And it's your soul. It's your soul vibrating on the same frequency as another individual. You guys are in harmony. It's no different than when you come across somebody that you meet and you say, there's something about him I don't like. You don't know him. You never talked to him. You never met him before, but there's just an energy about him. We use these words to describe the realm that our God lives in. He lives in that world. He lives in that spiritual world. He lives in that world that's energy. In order for us to exist in this physical world, our spirit needs a host. And that's the body, that's the flesh. And that's what Jesus was all about. God came and brought Jesus to this earth in flesh, his spirit, the spirit of God. He was God. Just he needed the flesh in order to be able to exist in this realm, in this physical reality. So we have words that already identify that different world. We just don't really have the science to back it yet. But that science, I don't believe. I don't know the future, but I don't believe it'll ever be exposed, because if you knew everything, what would you need God for? God is all about faith. It's like the disciples when Jesus died, they didn't believe that he rose from the dead until he appeared to them. And then they broke down, "Oh my Lord, I can't believe it." And Jesus said to them, "Blessed are the people that don't see me, but yet have faith." So it's not about seeing, it's about believing. And we call that law of attraction, but it's not really law of attraction. It's believing in your creator. So use the energy that comes from God, not from this worldly idea of manifesting things on your own through your own spiritual power. You're not spiritual. I mean, we're spiritual beings, but you're not a God. You didn't create this energy. God created it and placed it in you, but you can only really tap into it when you connect to him. So when you become wise, it's godly wisdom. In the Bible, it's called godly wisdom. In Psalms, David talks about godly wisdom. It isn't wisdom of this world, of this physical world, of earth. It isn't earthly. It's godly wisdom. When you tap into the godly wisdom and understand how things really work, then you start to see life in a totally different way. But long story short is that we need to get connected back with the source. We need to put our faith, our trust, our belief into the source in order to live a more fulfilled life and a more peaceful life. Because I have tremendous amount of peace today versus years ago when I was doing things on my own, when I thought I had control of my life. Ever since I gave my life to him, I have no worries. I have no fears. I have peace because I know he's gonna take care of me. There's never been a time where I face a difficult situation that I didn't think he was gonna get me out of it, that he was gonna pull me out of it. So I don't walk through life with worry like most people do, or anxiety like most people do, because I know I have him in my corner. But thank you guys for checking out this video. A little bit spiritual, you know. Every once in a while, I have to bring his light to people, because you'd be surprised at the things that you say and who it touches. I get emails all the time, randomly, from people that, you know, heard what I was talking about and they thanking me of how it affect their life and how they're glad that they came across the video. So you never know who you're gonna touch. Yes, in my eyes, I'm just making a video. It's just a video for people to watch. Hopefully they learn something from it. But I have no idea the people that it touches. So I have to bring this to you guys. But I thank you guys for checking out this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. I'm out. There we go, God. You got me on the right page now. That was a good one. That was good.